Hi, it's Craig from Arms and Armor, and today we had a confluence of events that have resulted in having several of our custom pieces together in the shop at once. And I thought it'd be a great idea to go through and look at some aspects of some of the hilts on these pieces because they're kind of unique pieces, replicas of originals, and they point out some of the early development of like the basket hilt and things like that, which might be interesting to some of you out there. Today we're going to look at all of these swords, and this particular one is a Howe Daggen, which has a blackened hilt on it. We have a replica of the Thames basket hilt, which is in the Royal Armories and was found in the Thames River. This is a reproduction of the Mary Rose hilt, which is one that came up with the shipwreck and then they found. It was very damaged, but we've reconstructed as it was probably made at that time. And then we have on the Italian rapier that has side plates on it and a back plate and the kind of a constructed classic rapier shape. And then we have a reconstruction of the Sea Venture basket, which is from a shipwreck in 1609. And you can see here that you're getting much more towards that classic Scottish basket hilt form than some of these others. We're going to talk a little bit about how those things came about, how they evolved, some of the aspects of the different pieces here, what they were for, and all those kind of things. I'm not going to go into the blades too heavily today on these, but they are all particular in their own shape and size and form for the hilt and the style of combat that would have been used. Several of the basket hilts are quite flexible in the tip area. A lot of these types of swords have very thin cross sections in that part of the blade, and that allows the weight to balance out and make them very usable as the weapons they were. On the Italian rapier, we have refitted this with a training blade so the owner of this particular hilt can actually use it in practice, and we've also adjusted the grip, and we'll look at that in a little bit as well. The sword I'm going to start with is the Mary Rose hilt. This particular piece came, as I said, from under the shipwreck. When they lifted it off the floor, they found it. And you can see it has a very beefy kind of basket hilt structure to it. It has round cross-section bars on the hilt. It's got a bar that we've interpreted as coming across here in the four-ring or forward guard of the hilt that comes around and does this sharp curve back into the root of where the cross is. It does have a rudimentary back guard on it, which is something you don't see too often on the earliest basket hilts. This is kind of an indication that we're moving into the more developed basket hilt structure. It does have the satyr bar construction, or the cross as it were, that you see in later basket hilts, and a plate with some detailing on it. As time goes on, that plate gets larger, and we'll look at that in a little bit. And then you see it does have a bar that comes up across, protecting the high back part of the hand here. And that particular type of guard is what you start to get when you see the development of the basket hilt. It's got a nice firm grip, short grip. You can feel the pommel right on the back of the hand and in the forepart of the hand itself. And it has a large globulose pommel. These pommels are often hollow, as this one is. That is a sphere with a hollow center. This one is ribbed on the outside, peened with a nut, but it does allow a real large surface to interact with the back of the hand. It allows a very kind of pleasing shape and look to the piece, but this piece here is hollow, so you don't have all that weight pulling the blade tip way up. And like I said, with the thinner blades, you don't need that kind of weight back there. So it's more an aesthetic possibly, or a functional thing of wanting to use that back part of the hand as a power source for creating the type of cuts you want to create using the back edge of the sword. So this kind of piece is a very interesting because it's early, probably 1545 or so, I think the Mary Rose went down, and is definitely early date to show that, yeah, these were definitely in place at that time. And you can see that some of the structures and things are such that it's not just one of the earliest ones. So this has been around for a while, even at that time.